quick. Do it steady. Be steady now. Be steady. Be steady. Come on. All right, turn around. Do it again. Well, I was born into the circus, and I've been clowning since I was 8 years old. And I clowned with my brother. My brother was 3 years older than me, and we used to put on these little shows, and Dad would do the magic and the fire eating, and you know, we'd go around little towns like this and rent a hall and put on a little variety show, and we were the clowns. Yes. All dogs on the seat, quick. Performing family. My brother was a knife thrower, and my parents were performers. Dad was a fire eater, and they had a mental telepathy act, a very good mind reading act, which performed all over the world. And Mum would put the blindfold on, and Dad would walk round, and people would hand him things, and he'd just ask her, what have I got in my hand? And she'd tell them. It was a very, very good act. Zen. Yeah, Zen. And it's show business just in the blood. You just keep moving. Now it's a long straight road, the engine's deep. All right. And the boys and girls would like to see him jump for a small hoop. You ready? Now it's down through the gears, she's starting to pull. I spent nearly all my life on the road. I owned a prawn trawler for 12 years, so that's the time I was off the road, and I've worked carnivals in New Zealand and Australia and America, and yeah, it's hard to settle down when you've been born into the circus. When I was growing up, we weren't with the circus, we were actually doing carnivals and tent shows. Do you remember the old tent shows? And Dad was a tent showman, and this guy had performing chimps, and he had this little baby chimp called Charlie. And every morning we'd get up and have breakfast, and Charlie'd be sitting out on the mat with his nappy on, and we'd all go and sit with him. I was about 7 or 8 years old. We all go and play toys with Charlie the chimp. And, you know, I suppose we were actually babysitting Charlie now that I think about it. But what a great life, and you know, and other things that were, you take for granted. You just take them for granted. The baby cub, lion cubs and all that. And the elephants, and to us it's just all part of life. Push. Yeah. Push. He thinks the other guy's stealing the show. He says, how come he's getting to do all the tricks? I do a little bit of everything, clowning and a little bit of juggling, a little bit of magic, my trick dogs, and of course the music. You know, I bring a lot of joy singing. Good boy. On your seat. My first trick animal, I was given this big old English pointer, Sam. And a friend of mine, Stuart Lear, was a wonderful horse trainer. And he was training this little pony, and nobody was allowed to watch him train. He wouldn't give his secrets away. And I'd sneak down and hide in the stable or hide behind something, but he'd always find me. And after about a week of it, he'd give up and he said, righto, Vaughnie, you sit there and you watch, but you don't tell anybody what you see. Anyway, I watched him, and within 2 weeks I'd trained my big English pointer to do the whole act, the Liberty Act that the pony was doing. So Sam was a big hit. And then later on in life I just started getting dogs and training them. And I always get rescue dogs or older dogs because they find it harder to get a home. Everybody wants a puppy. Flash was nearly 12 months when I got him. He was 18 months when I got him. And he was a rebel. He bit everybody, including me. But he's good now. Push. Good boy. It took me a long time to work out what I was meant to do, what my purpose on the planet was. And, you know, I'm quite happy to say, well, that's what my purpose is, to bring joy and to help people. That's worth all the money in the world when you can bring joy like that. Walking, 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 walking. Good boys, on your seat, quick.